Football is back at the Fargo Dome this weekend as NDSU will host its spring game tomorrow night, the first under new head coach Matt Entz. The team will also receive their 2018 FCS championship rings in a ceremony prior to the main event. The event will serve as an opportunity for fans to see the team in action, though in a scrimmage setting before their August 30th season opener. On its spring roster, NDSU has 16 seniors and 17 juniors, returning from the program's 7th championship in 8 seasons. Senior running back Ty Brooks and junior linebacker Jabril Cox are expected to be standouts for NDSU this upcoming season on offense and defense respectively. With the graduation of 3.5-year starter Easton Stick, the starting quarterback position is up for grabs, and all 4 potential candidates for the position are expected to get playing time in the scrimmage. Trey Lance, Holden Hotchkiss, Noah Sanders, and Iowa State transfer Zeb Nolan will each get their chances to show they're worthy of leading the Bison offense. Admission is free for all ages, and the ring ceremony will begin at 6 o'clock with the scrimmage starting at 6:30. Bison softball now holds a 1.5-game lead in the Summit League standings after a dominating 3-game sweep of the South Dakota Coyotes in Vermillion last weekend. It all started when NDSU scored 2 runs in the 8th inning to break a scoreless tie in Game 1, and KK Letty threw a 1-hit shutout over 8 innings just 5 days after her no-hitter against South Dakota State. Game 2 saw the Bison offense catch fire, winning 10-0 in 5 innings behind Maddie Hansen's 4 RBIs, and Paige Vargas threw another 1-hit shutout. The third game was yet another complete game shutout by Letty as the Bison won 7-0, making it 20 consecutive scoreless innings since their last loss. The team returns to Theraldson Park this weekend to take on the last-place Omaha Mavericks beginning tomorrow at 2 p.m. Despite a series loss to Oral Roberts last weekend, the Bison baseball team at least got to play on its home field for the first time this season. On Tuesday, they were back in action for a matchup against the Dakota State Trojans at Newman Outdoor Field. It was a beautiful night for baseball on Tuesday night. The Bison acknowledging the national anthem. Their starter, Hunter Kemp, here in the top of the 2nd inning, strikes out Chase DeWitt, but he has to leave the game with an apparent arm injury, so Jake Drew comes in to pitch in his place. In the bottom of that inning, here's Carter Thompson sending a high fly ball out to left center field, and all the outfielders can do is turn and watch as that ball is out of here. That's his 2nd home run of the season, a 2-run home run to put the Bison up 2-0 at the time. Later on in that inning, here is Jake Malik hitting this one right back up the middle through the infield, and coming in to score is Charlie Hesse to give the Bison a 3-0 lead still in the 2nd inning. That's Malik's 15th run driven in on the season. Shifting gears then to the bottom of the 6th inning, the Bison now up 6-0, having a good time at the ballpark. It's Malik again sending this one down the right field line for a fair ball in the right field corner. First baseman couldn't grab it, and Malik's rounding second on his way to third, and the infielders are not going to be able to throw him out in time. That's Malik's 3rd hit of the game, and that would be his final plate appearance of the day. The next batter here is Bennett Hostetler. He's going to hit one slowly to the right side, and it's going to be a tough play for the infielders. Malik comes in to score from third as Hostetler is safe. Bison leads 7-0 here. They'd go on to win 11-0 in 8 innings as Nick Emanuel hit a 2-run home run to end the game. The Bison had 10 hits as a team, and 4 different players each drove in 2 runs. They're in the midst of a stretch where they're scheduled to play 16 of their final 17 games of the regular season at home. That will continue with a 3-game series against Western Illinois beginning Friday night at 6:30. The NDSU men's and women's track and field teams have been recognized as some of the best in the Midwest as their outdoor seasons roll on. Beginning with the men's team, the Bison are 3rd in the Midwest region in the latest rankings, trailing only Iowa and Nebraska from the Big Ten. NDSU has been ranked in the top 3 every week so far this outdoor season, which is helped out by their collective number 1 and 2 rankings in the hammer throw and shot put events respectively. Meanwhile, for the women's team, they're ranked 6th in the Midwest region at this point in the season. Their rankings enhanced due to 3 collective number 1 rankings in the country in the shot put, hammer throw, and the heptathlon. Bison senior Amanda Levin just won a Conference Athlete of the Week award for her record-setting heptathlon in Azusa, California last week. Both teams are taking part in the Drake Relays down in Des Moines, Iowa that began today and will end on Saturday. The NDSU women's golf team was unable to defend its conference championship earlier this week, finishing 5th at the Summit League tournament in Newton, Kansas. The Bison finished 7 strokes behind 4th place South Dakota State with a total of 951, 47 strokes behind Denver. Sophomore Taylor McCorkle finished tied for 7th individually, leading NDSU with a score of 233, 16 strokes behind Denver's Mary Weinstein. Emma Groom and Maddie Herzog had top 20 finishes as well for the Bison, scoring 237 and 239 respectively. Groom and McCorkle came in as the top 2 individual seeds on the team just days after they were both named to the All-Summit League second team. And finally, here's a quick update on what's been happening in the NHL and NBA playoffs. With last night's result, the second-round playoff field is set after 3 series lasted the maximum 7 games. In the Eastern Conference, the Boston Bruins will play against the upstart Columbus Blue Jackets, and the New York Islanders will take on the Carolina Hurricanes, who knocked off the defending champion Washington Capitals. As for the NBA, all but 2 first-round series have been decided already. Most notably, the Portland Trail Blazers eliminated the Oklahoma City Thunder on a buzzer-beating 3-pointer from Damian Lillard in Game 5. They will play the winner of the Denver-San Antonio series, but as of now, 2 second-round matchups are set, with the higher seeds both advancing to this point. And if you're interested in hearing more sports talk, here's a clip from our recent episode of X's and O's where Joe Thompson and I talk about the NHL playoffs.
But before I get into that series, I just want to go for the fact that the Toronto Maple Leafs are basically in the movie Groundhog Day, where they just keep losing in Game 7s to the Boston Bruins in Boston over and over and over and over again. It happened in 2013, happened a couple seasons ago, and it happened now.
You want to fix that problem? Finish better than Boston in the standings,
Finish better than Boston,
Toronto.
and then you'll beat a team other than Boston, or just beat Boston.
I like you, Toronto. Do something.
Just do something for your fans' sake, but...
You can find the full episode on our YouTube channel at The Bison Information Network, and it's also going to be airing right here on Channel 484.
Thanks, Isaac. After the break, we'll have some advice from graduating seniors and this week's Bison on the Street.
We'll be right back.